I would think the Schrader's got a little bit left, but he has to be a little unhappy with the way Boris said climbed by him in the inner loop.
Well, it was a better 61.5 dozen. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Boris said was by him.
Yeah.
Most of the car was by Dorsey, and Dorsey tried to shut the door on him, but it was just a little bit too late. And now we're going to get a real clear out down here into the S's, because we've got some lap traffic in front. This could well make some major shuffling here in positions. Look at Gentilozzi right there.
A lot of cars in front as the leaders move up onto the main straightaway. Boris set out front of the white car using a very wide racetrack. Schrader trying to get inside him down into turn 1.
Ooh, and Kendall's trying to go around Gentilozzi as well. Just right behind him.
Top 4 under a blanket here at Watkins Glen. Set up ahead in the white car, your leader. Schrader were on board with the second place car. Gentilozzi has used this to come up and challenge, and now Kendall very much in the mix in the all-sport car, the black and green car. We're getting toward the middle third of the race right now, the middle portion of the race. 26 complete, 15 to go next time by.
And this, of course, is when the tires start to feel that heat. It's been a long time since that caution, so they've the tires have got maximum heat in. Now they're catching up. That's R.J. Valentine, I think, in the number 7 car.
John Miller right behind. It's Said to the outside, Dorsey to the inside into the turn 5 area.
But Dorsey got boxed in by Miller there as they go round the outside of him there through that long turn 5. That was a risky maneuver, but they had no option.
So Boris Said maintains the lead. R.J. Valentine will move over and give the leaders room to go by as they come to turn 8 and 9.
Well, he might.
He did give them room there, no doubt about it. Gentilozzi on the outside, holding
but
third.
Then he got in front. He got himself right in front of Paul Gentilozzi as they're going through the S's.
Leaders coming up onto the main straightaway. Plenty of action at Watkins Glen. Hope you're enjoying the SCCA Trans Am. We'll be back with more. Back at Watkins Glen International. Good to have you with us today for the Trans Am. Boris Said in the 14, the white car, your leader. Dorsey Schrader in the 12, right behind him. They're Ford teammates, but they're from different stables. Remember that Said drives for Jack Roush. Schrader drives for Tom Bloy. Said took the lead a moment ago with a very bold move into the inner loop at the end of the back straightaway.
And both these cars starting to slide around now, and they're starting to put some real temperature in those tires. Down to the turn 1. There you see Dorsey Schrader going down the inside and snaps right across in there, and Dorsey Schrader in a really civilized manner backs out of it there and lets Boris Said have the corner. Back to that same position.
Down to turn 1 again. Schrader in second spot. We're riding with him. Meantime, shuffling a little further back. You saw Jamie Gallus make a move to the inside and pick up a spot. Jamie Gallus
got around Tommy Kendall there going into the turn 1, and then bringing with him Scott Sharp again in the 33 cars right behind him.
So Kendall loses a couple of spots. We look back in the field. Your 2 leaders up the hill in the S's. There's Gentilozzi third. Gallus on the charge now. He's up to 4th in the 2 car. The Glidden ICI car, the Chevrolet from American Equipment Racing. There's Sharp to 5th. Kendall gets booted back to 6th. Quite a surprise there.
Has Kendall got a problem, or is he just letting these guys knock each other's brains out and try and make a move at the end? But the end is only 12 laps away. That's a bit risky, I'd have said.
Here's Kendall coming back on Sharp now. Sharp says his car is awesome, but I would say if Sharp wants to be a factor, he needs to start his climb toward the front.
Exactly. He's got to start because he's got a lot of people to pass, and if you catch him up in 1 lap, it might take you 4 laps each car to real pass him. So you're really sort of cutting it fine if you don't start making your way towards the front now. Jamie Gallus looking like he's going to get around Paul Gentilozzi.
Battle for 3rd into turn 10. Gallus is 4th. Gentilozzi right in front of him in 3rd. Derek Daly, what's going on pit road?
As Jamie Gallus flies by here, Don Murphy, who is his crew chief. Do you like what you see, Don?
Yeah, Derek, let me say it's good to have you back. Yeah, we do like what we see, even though he's losing about a second a lap. He seems to be getting through traffic a little better than the leaders because he's gaining on him about a second a lap. He's cut the lead from about 4.5 seconds down a little under 2 right now.
He's a happy man with what he sees.
Good move by Gallus to use traffic and get up into the 4th spot there ahead of Sharp and ahead of Kendall. But Gentilozzi's car seems to be pretty strong as we move up onto the backstretch, David.
Gentilozzi moving back onto those 2 leaders. They had a big lead at one stage, and he's whittled it down in the traffic. His car's obviously, as his crew chief mechanic wanted it to, is coming back to him. On board again now with Scott Sharp, who's now trailing Jamie Gallus in front of him. And right in front of him is Paul Gentilozzi, this long right-hander. That's the sort of corner that really puts heat into a tire, which is why they all chose the 600 compound, because even if the sun went in, they'd still generate tremendous amount of heat for these 2,500, 2,700 pound cars going through corners like that.
We saw the leaders blast by a moment ago. There's Sed still out in front. Schrader right behind him. Schrader has shown that he can get up on Sed's back bumper, but he hasn't been able to make another move.
No, if the race was to finish like this with Dorsey Schrader in second place, already got a slim lead over Tommy Kendall. Tommy Kendall's moved back to 6th, so it won't be doing Tommy Kendall's scores any good to be back there this afternoon.
Remember, the Dorsey's got some extra incentive here today. He won the first leg of the Road to Reno, the Harrah's Triple Crown, back at Detroit. He needs a win here today to stay in the running for the $50,000 bonus.
Absolutely. He must be pretty fit to be tied. He said at the beginning the 50,000 wasn't such an incentive at the moment. The championship was their main goal, but boy, oh boy, it'd be nice to win this round too and get one step closer to that 50 grand.
Battle for third. Gentilozzi up ahead in the black and red car, the winner at Mossport earlier this year. Gallus right behind him in fourth, the winner in Long Beach. Sharp, who's been a two-time series champion, hasn't been able to get the victory lane yet this season. You know he's frustrated by that. Kendall right behind him trying to get by and pick up 5th spot.
Well, now you see the leader, the two leaders, actually Sed and Dorsey Schrader have got a really good thing on the going at the moment, because Paul Gentilozzi's managed to pull away from Gallus, Sharp and Tommy Kendall. Of course, the more they duke it out, the slower they're going to go.
We watch that battle for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth now. Kendall sitting back there in the All-Sport Ford. As much as he is driven to win, you know he can't be happy with the way this race has gone so far. 31 complete. This will be lap 32 as the leaders go by. There'll be 10 to go next time around.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that there we see, oh, that's a lapped car. Ooh, see, you didn't see him coming. He wasn't quite sure they were there. They gave him a bit of room there. That's a 71 car.
Ted Sullivan there in that black car that's trying to get out of the groove and let the leaders go by quickly. Gentilozzi out of turn 2 and up the hill into the S's area. Scott Sharp doing the same thing now toward the backstretch here at Watkins Glen.
Looking at that, you can see how miraculous it was when that car spun in there and didn't hit anything, let alone the grass hardly, let alone the guardrail, which is pretty close.
No runoff area at all, that part of the racetrack. Scott Sharp sitting back in 6th. There's Dorsey Schrader, who's doing double duty this weekend, driving Bill Elliott's Winston Cup car in the mud at the Glen. Back with more after this. Back on board with Dorsey Schrader, who led much of the early going here, finds himself in second. Lap traffic right in front of the leaders.
This is going to be a classic case of someone's going to breathe here wrong and they're going to get it wrong.
Today's exclusive cup.
As we watch the leaders come off of turn 5, they're going to thread the needle right up the middle. Goes Sed and Schrader. Dorsey trying to find a way to get around Boris Sed. Sed took the lead about 8 laps ago with a very, very strong move in the inner loop area. Right now, Schrader unable to do much with Boris Sed, who holds on to the front. Boris had to miss last week's race at Trois-Rivières in Canada because he didn't have funding for the car, no sponsorship.
Here he goes. Here goes Dorsey Schrader down the inside. He's got him this time. There's no way he can't get this corner.
Drag race to turn 1. Schrader with a quick move out of 10 makes the pass and takes the lead back with 9 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. So Dorsey Schrader regains the lead for the second time this afternoon.
And more traffic as they come to the S's. This is not a place to get balked. If he has to lift out here behind the 83 car, he's going to lose a lot of momentum. Here you see them coming down that front straightaway. Gets a good early move out of the slipstream of Boris Sed in the 14 car. Gets well and truly on the inside. There's absolutely nothing Boris Sed can do about it. Good pass there by Dorsey Schrader.
33 laps complete, 9 remaining, and Schrader has this one back under control. Here's another look at it out of turn 10 under the Winston Bridge here at Watkins Glen. Got a good jump at him.
That was the
quick
thing.
Move low.
He got a good classic. Came off the corner well. It's so important. Everybody thinks you've got to outbrake people going.
Look at this. Jamie Gallus and Gentilozzi have crashed hard.
Wow.
They are into the tire barrier. I would think that might be at the end of turn 5, at the end of the back straightaway. We'll see if we can show you what happened. The window net down on Gallus's car. They have crashed hard. We'll see if that's Gentilozzi trying to get the car refired. That would be.
He's got it refired. He's trying to get it moved. It's jammed in those tires at the moment. A full course caution is out. So this race is by no means over. That is a disaster there for both Jamie Gallus and Paul Gentilozzi. Obviously, Jamie Gallus was trying to get by him.
They were battling for third. Gallus had come up through there so nicely.
Jamie Gallus
getting the car unhooked, and we'll show you what happened. This is off the inner loop. There's Gentilozzi with a lap car in front of him. To the outside, he gets turned by the lap car. Gallus collects him here. Look at this.
No.
And they go sliding off the course together. Gentilozzi trying to get on the clutch and the brakes, keep the car running. They go.
Look at this trail coming out of the back of Jamie Gallus's car. So I said going into this race, the traffic was going to play a major part in this race, and I could just know it. There's just so many cars out there, and a big gap in speed. So it's just always a recipe for absolute disaster.
It is Gentilosi's car. You saw them both trying to get unhooked and refired, but as David pointed out, fluid leaking from one of the two cars and
pouring out the back of Gallus's car. So there's Mark, very dejected. That was a real good run by Gentilosi, but he tried to go around the outside of that back marker and there just wasn't room, and the back marker squeezed him out. Because that's the problem when they're being lapped. I mean, they're looking in the mirror and they see cars coming in from all directions.
Paul saying sorry it happened, nobody's fault, just a racing incident. Gentilosi trying to get around the lapped car on the outside as they came out of the inner loop and out of turn 5. Let's take a look from Scott Sharp's automobile. This is just coming into the inner loop, the first right-hand corner. You can see up ahead what's going to happen out of turn 5. There go the two cars off the course and heading for the tire barrier. The 73, one of the lap cars.
It wasn't the 73 car. He was trying to go around the black car. Oh, here it is. He was
one of the two Oldsmobiles, I believe.
Oh, the guy, you see, the guy looked in the mirror, saw Jamie Gallus and didn't even know that Gentilosi was already on the outside because he turned right into him.
So wild action here at Watkins Glen this afternoon. Gentilosi and Gallus out of the hunt this afternoon. With 8 laps to go, they take a hard crash into the tire barrier outside the carousel here at Watkins Glen.
Tommy Kendall knows that spot very well.
As Scott Sharp will give us one more look off the roof of his car. Real-time action here into the inner loop. And through the left-hand corner and back up onto the racetrack, the main part of the course at Watkins Glen. Will everybody on the binders here? There you see the two cars going off course, locked together.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. A lot of damage done, so there's going to be we're going to be down here for 2 or 3 laps, I imagine, while they pick these two cars up.
I would think so. Gentilosi solidly in third, thinking he could get up and challenge at one point a little earlier in the race. He was right up behind the two leaders.
He was running about a couple of seconds back at one stage, 3 or 4 seconds back, and then he gradually moved in the traffic, so he started to pick up ground well, and was but then of course he was struggling to hold Jamie Gallus off. So really good race. I mean, the Trans Am races this year have been absolutely extraordinary. They really have been really closely fought.
And there's the racer and Paul Gentilosi getting a screwdriver to help the crew, help the safety crew get the hood off the car so they can hook to it and get it on the racetrack, get it off the racetrack, get it towed off safely. Dorsey Schrader, once again the race leader, led the early going. Boris Said shouldered his way by in that same part of the course going into the inner loop. One of the wildest moves we've seen this year in the Trans Am, and Dorsey was able to get the lead back a few laps ago.
We got an interesting situation too now. That means that Tommy Kendall must have been elevated to 3rd position, so he's right behind Boris Said, who is in theory his teammate. And of course the championship points now are going to be vital, and if Dorsey Schrader should win this race, Tommy Kendall is certainly going to want to come second. Are they going to sacrifice Boris Said? I don't know. It's going to be difficult for the team to make a decision here.
Only 3 races to go after Watkins Glen this weekend. Derek Daly on pit road.
Okay, so we have 3 Fords in the lead and we have 1 Chevrolet. Can Scott Sharp beat these Fords? I don't know, but remember at the top of the show he said the last 10 laps tells a lot here. Well, this is his timesheet from just 2 laps earlier. He did 1 minute 11.9, which is the fastest lap of the race so far. So Scott Sharp, who said his car was awesome earlier, may be about to give us some fireworks here.
And of course he's going to be right with the leaders after this caution flag, but one of the rationales behind his 10 laps, of course, was the fact that the tires would all start to go off. This caution period coming with just a few laps to go, everybody's tires are going to be back.
Gentilosi still looking things over off the turn 5 runoff area where his car took a hard ride into the tire barrier. He and Jamie Gallus getting together with a lapped car just a couple of moments ago. Everyone's okay and out of the cars. Fine, let's look at it again here as they come out of the inner loop.
Well, there you see it. He had absolutely no choice to go around that back marker. The guy didn't see him coming, looked in the mirror, suddenly saw Jamie Gallus and moved over even further to the left, not knowing that Paul Gentilosi was already out there. Gentilosi gets onto the curb, lost control. The car started to spin around, and of course, who would he collect? But poor old Jamie Gallus is right there, so both of them out. And it was just one of those traffic incidents where there's just no way to read it right, and it's very difficult too for the lapped cars to know exactly where to put themselves when guys are racing as furiously as these people are for a position on the track.
As you pointed out, though, Kendall and Sharp really benefit from this. They'll restart hugely. 3rd and 4th here when we get ready to go green. Derek Daly.
Well, crew chief Don Murphy for Jamie Gallus can do nothing now but pack the toolbox away. It looked good though, but it was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's what I understand, Derek, but you know, that's got to be one of the facets of racing. You know, we're out there racing with a lot of different people, and from what I understand, somebody got another car involved which collected our driver. It's too bad because he had a good car, and he was running hard the whole race, going for the front.
So things seem to go from bad to worse here, fellas, for one of the best teams in the business here, Buzz McCall's All-American Racing Team.
Both of their cars out early. Fellows with a motor letting go in the early going. A replay of his problems early in the season. Now Gallus crashes out with a few laps to go. Dorsey Schrader will be the restart leader when we get ready to drop the green in a moment.